talk to you about exfoliators, specifically one type of exfoliator that is causing a massive amount of pollution in our water systems, and more specifically in the Great Lakes. So these terrible polluters are the exfoliators known as the micro-bead scrubbers. So these are the ones that have those really, really tiny little plastic balls in them that claim to be a very gentle exfoliant. The problem with these little balls, though, is that they're made of a very common plastic material called polyethylene. And the problem with polyethylene and using these tiny little plastic balls is that they are so small that water treatment filters miss them, so they remain in the water, and so they get into the water systems themselves. And they are pretty much non-degradable, so they don't break down, they don't end up dissolving in the water, they just kind of end up floating around. Birds and fish often mistake them for small floating plant life, so algae and things like that, so they end up eating them, and this can cause so many digestive problems. They end up losing nutrients because the plastic doesn't break down and their stomach is always full to them. It's really, really awful. And additionally, the type of plastic, this polyethylene, actually absorbs toxins. So when it gets put into the water, it'll absorb all these toxic chemicals that are also in there. And so when the animals eat them, they're not just getting the problems with the plastic. All these different chemicals that normally they wouldn't be introduced to are now going to be in their system. And as these animals are eaten, they cause problems for us. So if we're eating fish, for example, that have actually digested this plastic, it can just cause a huge myriad of problems. What's crazy about this is the reason that companies started to use these micro-bead scrubbers is because they are really, really gentle. But there are so many other natural alternatives. So you can use ground up fruit pits, sugar, there's poppy seeds, there's so many different ways that you can have a really, really effective exfoliant that doesn't cause environmental harm the way that these microbeads do. But there is some good news. There's a whole bunch of petitions that have been going around and the public has been getting involved. So some companies have started to change. So Unilever, the company that makes Dove products, they've pledged to take out these plastic little balls in all their products by 2015. So that's really good, and it does prove that if we all stop buying these ingredients and demand that companies stop using them, we could have a huge difference in the amount of pollution in our water systems just by simply using a different exfoliator, which seems like such an easy thing to do. There are also a lot of brands that already use healthy, environmentally friendly scrubbers. So the perfect example is the Body Shop. So this is actually their Satsuma body polish, and once again, this one does not have the micro beads. I've also tried one from St. Ives that uses olive oil pits. So there are ones out there. This is where it's really important to look at your ingredients list and be an informed consumer. There are a whole bunch of really, really easy do-it-yourself body scrub and exfoliant recipes out there. So I wanted to share with you two of my own. The first one is really, really easy. I talked about it in my Terra 20 haul video a couple of months back, and I got this recipe from a company called Purple Urchin. And it's basically a mix of sugar, olive oil, and different essential oils. It's really easy to make and it does an amazing job. So I'll put that recipe in the description box below. That recipe makes a slightly larger amount of body scrub, so that would last you a month or so. But if you're anything like me, I always am in a rush when I'm showering. I'm always late in the morning. So if you want to make a one-time use batch of natural exfoliator, this is just a slight variation. Just mix 2 tablespoons of sugar with 1 teaspoon of coconut oil. If you have cold pressed coconut oil like I like to use, you just use your fingers to mix it up, which melts the oil. This is just a great one-time use recipe. It takes 30 seconds to make. You can mix it up right before you hop in the shower and you won't have to worry about having any leftovers to store. I also wanted to give you a demo of how you can use very similar ingredients to exfoliate your face. It's a trick that I learned from one of my favorite YouTubers, Kandee Johnson. So take a look. So this is me, au naturel. I've taken off all my makeup. It's really, really simple. What you'll need to do this are some basic cotton pads, lemon juice, and a little bit of sugar. Just take a little bit of lemon juice, soak the cotton pad very thoroughly, and then take a pinch or 2 of sugar and just kind of sprinkle it on the top here. I tend to not put too much on it first because the sugar will just fall off and get everywhere, so I kind of do it in 2 coats. So now that you've prepared that mixture, I'm just going to set it down for a second, and you just want to wet your face so that this exfoliant has a moist surface to work on. Okay, so after you've wet your face, you're just going to take the cotton pad, just rub it in small circular motions along your face and really concentrate on your T-zone or other areas where you experience dryness. As I said, it can be a bit messy, so I recommend doing it over your sink to avoid getting sugar everywhere. So if you do run out of sugar, so for example, my cotton pad is just lemon now, I just sprinkle on a little bit more and then do the rest. Now, if you do have blemishes on your face like I do right now, it will sting just a little bit, but only for a couple seconds, and it's really nothing bad. Nothing compared to like oxy pads or anything like that. I love how the lemon smells. It smells so good. Once you've rubbed it in to your whole face, you can just get rid of that cotton pad, and then you're going to want to rinse it off. And this is just my tip. If you use warm water to rinse your face before you do the scrub, it'll help open up the pores. And then after you're finished rinsing it all off, splash your face with cold water, and it'll help close back up those pores to make sure that no dirt or grime seeps in after you do the scrub. I want to show you the coolest thing. This is my favorite face cloth from the Body Shop. It's made of 100% organic flannel. And what's so cool about this is, I don't know if you can see this, it's hard. This part's still damp, so it's super, super soft, but when it dries, it gets really hard. It's the craziest thing, but it is literally the most soft face cloth I have ever experienced. I just love it. So rinse off your face. It just makes your skin feel so soft and really does a great job of exfoliating, and it's really, really easy to make. So that is the natural alternative that I use to exfoliate my face, and I do that about once every 2 weeks or so. If you're like me, you want to apply a moisturizer after the fact, and you want to make sure to stay natural because you don't want to expose all this nice new soft skin to any chemicals. So the moisturizer that I've been using lately is the Alba Botanica Natural Hawaiian Moisture Cream, and it's great. It has an amazing scent and is very, very lightweight, so I'll just put some of that on. Nice and soft, all rubbed in with my moisturizer, and now I smell pretty much like Hawaiian lemonade. So that's the natural alternative that I use to exfoliate my face. I definitely recommend trying it out yourself. So that's it for me this week. Please make sure to like this video and share it with everyone that you know. We need to make sure we get these microbeads off our shelves and make sure that companies stop using them because they do so much more damage than they do good. It's not worth the environmental price tag just to get a gentle exfoliant when there's so many other natural alternatives that you can use. So that's it for me this week. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos every Monday and Friday. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.